kids have dreams of what they want to be when they grow up, whether it's being an astronaut, a singer, or a policeman. Well, when I was younger, I really wanted to become an actress. I just loved getting in front of an audience and performing for them and just being in the spotlight. I was determined to become an actress, and I tried to get involved with as many plays as I could. And I actually had a great opportunity to kind of fulfill that dream about 5 years ago when I starred in the musical Annie at my local community theater. I practiced and practiced every night and prayed every night before audition day. After auditions that day, I walked off pretty confident, and me and my family went shopping after, and that night I remember getting a phone call from one of my friends that also auditioned for the play. She called me up and was like, "Hey, are you happy?" I was a little confused and asked her, "Happy about what?" And she responded saying, "You got the role Annie." I was blown away at that point. I dropped the phone and I was jumping off the walls. And I just could not believe that out of 20 girls, I got the role of Annie. I was going to be able to perform and play that part. That was my dream, to play the role of Annie. So from that time on, my life revolved around being Annie for 3 months. 3 months, it was nonstop, Annie songs, Annie lines, and everything on my mind was about this musical, Annie. And I actually remember opening night. I was pretty nervous, and I was looking in the mirror and, fixing my red curls and making sure I was dirty enough before I went on stage. And that's when it kind of hit me, like I could either make or break this play. Everyone was counting on me in the cast to hit my high notes, get my dance steps correctly, and remember my lines. And I just, butterflies started multiplying by the second in my stomach. So I started to walk backstage behind the curtain before I went on, and I was really nervous, but I also had adrenaline too, hearing the orchestra playing in the background, and I could hear the whispers of the audience. And I just started to think of all the rehearsals we've done, and I sort of unconsciously reminded myself of how ready I was to play this part. I felt confident. I knew my lines, I knew my dance steps, and so I just felt like I could do this. This has been my life for 3 months. I was ready to play this part. So the lights flickered and I went on stage and I was focused. I was no longer Ashley, I was Annie. So after the play, after that night, I felt really confident that I just did an outstanding job. And I just felt like the play was a huge success. Everyone got their lines, did everything correctly, and the audience gave us a standing ovation, and we nailed it, everyone did good. So I realized that night that, in order for me to be, confident and motivated, I had to love what I was doing. I had to, just be in love with what I was doing. And, even though I felt under pressure, I realized I did really good under pressure. And I just loved what I was doing, and I felt I was dedicated. From that play, I learned the importance of doing something that I love. And for that, to me, to be both successful and happy, I need to be passionate about what I did. So now, being older, I don't really want to become an actress, but I'm going to take those skills with me, and whatever I do with my life in the future, that I'm going to take those skills to the boardroom, the newsroom, the courtroom, or any stage to which I perform.